This is the all-new 2024 Chevrolet C8 Stingray with the Z51 package. And what I want to go ahead and show you is all the cool hidden features and tips and tricks that I found that I like to share with you. So if you're in a market for one of these, cruising around, researching, or you're a current owner, here's everything you need to know. Now, before I get started, I do want to talk about the price of this vehicle in particular, because I do have the window sticker, and the MSRP price for this with all the bells and whistles that you see here is $96,000. So that's about a little bit less than $100,000. But honestly, after daily driving this thing, what a vehicle. This thing, you get a lot of value out of this. 0-60 under 3 seconds, a naturally aspirated, nice sounding V8 with an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, and it's so easy to drive as well. It's extremely forgivable with ultimate grip traction possible as the rear are 309s or 305s. Let me check right now. Yeah, 305 rear tires. With impressive MPG on the highway, I was able to get 30 miles per gallon just fine. So yes, this is the 3LT version. It was a little bit more than 490 horsepower and has some impressive numbers. So let's get started with the hidden features now, shall we? You see, for starters, I'm not gonna feature the remote start and such. I'm sure we already are familiar with it, but the trunk release for the front, there actually is a button right here you could press. They could press right underneath the driver's side headlight. That will open up and unlatch the front for you. Let me get the camera closer for you guys, because there's also something right here I want to go over. So not only is the front extremely deep, deeper than most EVs, you have plenty of space. I've been fitting a bunch of stuff in there. Not enough room for Costco hauls, but right here, this can be used as a battery tender. So if you want to store this vehicle away, you don't have to worry about accidentally having a dead battery when you feel like joyriding it. This is a little battery tender you could use. But if you want to locate the actual battery of the vehicle, the 12-volt battery is located underneath this cover, pops out on the sides, and will expose itself from here. And then of course you got the emergency release button right there in case somebody gets tracked down there. Now this C8 is equipped with the soft close capability for both the front and the rear, which is quite nice. And then these doors are electric. A single tap without popping open the door will unlock the vehicle if you need to. And then again, a long hold will allow you to open it up. But what I want to show you right now is, you see, let's say like your battery dies, the doors being electric, there's no way to get in, right? You're wrong, because right underneath here, it's really dark to see, but there is a keyhole right there, because the current key of the key fob itself, you can pop out to have access to a physical key, which you'll put into it right there, and it will allow you to have a manual override to have access to your door. Now, in California, it's required to have front license plates. Luckily for us, Corvettes don't have to have their bumpers drilled to have a frame, because right here where it says Corvette, this is a cover that you can simply pop off, and when you remove this, you have a quick access to a license plate frame to mount your front license plate, and just pop this back on over it if you want to have this sleek, low profile front end, which I'm sure we can all agree, this looks a lot better than a license plate frame that just ruins the whole front end look of this car. I wish more cars had this. Now this Vet does have the optional front end raised suspension, which in my opinion should be standard. If you have the capability to opt for that, I'll highly recommend getting it, because inside the center console, there's a button you press that can also be GPS locked that will automatically raise the front suspension. And to see how much ground clearance you could get from pressing that button, here's a video time lapse right now. Actually, no, we'll do it in real time so you see how quick it is to adjust the suspension. So give me a second. Yeah, that makes a massive difference. Now, before I show you some less known features, especially from the back right here, this one is the hardtop with the removable top right here. And the thing I want to note is, after using this, and this was exposed in the rain does go in here. There's no rain guard system or anything like that. So the rain does go in the header side of the engine. Just give me the heads up. And if you park downwards on a driveway, this window is fully open, so rain will make its way in the engine bay. Just giving you a heads up for my daily driving experience with this thing. Now you may think there's no physical button here because whenever you're pressing the center, your backup camera is in the way. Look for the E. The center E right here in the middle, that's where you press to have access to the frunk, or not frunk, the trunk back here. And something more, yeah, you have a little handle right here. You may think this is the highest it'll go. You have full frame to increase the height, and it could actually open up pretty high, giving you more room to like clean the rear glass right here if you ever need to. But back here you would find your trunk, and it's pretty big because a known feature that Chevrolet was so proud about is the freedom to not put a massive 35 wheel tire back there, but to fit 2 golf bags in here. So that's one. You have to make it sideways though. And here's the second set of golf clubs. So depending on your setup, yeah, you could fit 2 golf clubs in here, but it's gonna be a bit tight. Here, take a look. That's 2 golf bags in here. And yeah, it should have enough room to clear. So yeah, you could fit 2 golf clubs, but it's pretty tight in there. And then this being a soft closing option Corvette, it also includes the hood / trunk back here. And I'm kind of curious to do the carrot test. So I want to see how sensitive it is. So got a carrot, standard carrot. Yeah, nothing to it. Let me see what will happen if I, well, that was me. Let's see if the soft, so here's a carrot. I took off the flimsy part. I'm curious if I could let it soft close. No, it's sealed, but hey, your finger will be safe, I guess. Let me open this. We badly hurt, but I mean, like, better than missing a finger. Now, before I actually go in more into detail about the emergency release for the frunk, if the battery's dead, this is electrical. Behind the license plate frame, there's a keyhole for your key fob or your key that you can use to pop it open. So that's a nice little hidden feature. So for the convertible version of the C8s, there's a button in there that will bring down the top. You can also do the exact same thing with the key fob. But to show you how easy it is to remove the top by yourself, it's super simple. There's 2 latches, both are visible underneath the sun visor. And then the third, this latch also you need to pull down. And then you can go to the other side. Make sure you have the trunk open as fully extended up as possible. And then simply just bring it up. Again, I'm doing this with 1 person. It's definitely a lot easier with 2. And it's fairly light. And you want to take it to the front, and the trunk, I mean. And you simply just line these plastic bits to the hood like this. And it should satisfyingly just click in place. There we go. When it clicks in place, it's locked, it's secure. It's not going anywhere. You close the trunk. Of course, you lose trunk space, but you still have your front up front. And that's it. I just wanted to show you how easy it was to remove the roof by yourself. It's easy. It's not too difficult, but it requires a lot of patience because you do not want to harm or ruin your own paint. Now let's talk about the hardware in terms of hidden features. But before I hop in the car, I do want to say, inside the car, these are your buttons you'll press to open up the door, right? For both the driver and passenger side, you can also manually pull up this handle to pop open the door in case of an emergency. Yeah, the driver's side also has that lever too. But down here, one of the less known ones is below the glove box, you will find a 12-volt outlet right here. Hard to see, just feel it, but here's the opening for a 12-volt outlet. So you can run like a radar detector or something like that in the center, or even a dash cam. But that's basically it for when it comes to the passenger side in terms of hidden features, because your 4 adjustable lumbar supports right there. And the seats are pretty nice, and these are carbon fiber. And wireless chargers right here, speaker, Sound system sounds fantastic, but what if I were to say. But now let's go ahead and talk about the features. All right, real quick, accessories, you know, don't put your foot on a brake, just tap once. This will quickly turn the instrument cluster into accessory mode, just like this. We don't have AC function, but we can listen to music. But did you know, if you do the same process, let me turn this off. If you repeat the same process, but long hold the accessory mode for 30 seconds, you'll have quick access to service accessory mode, which gives you your full display in the front, and you have AC controls you could turn on while the vehicle is turned off. So basically you have full access to everything of this car without the engine being ignited. The only drawback to this is you draw a lot more energy. So for long parking lot durations, I do not recommend this. But for like 5 minutes or so of being in the parking lot, this is not bad without ruining gas. Now with the top down, or off I should say, you may think, oh, if I park this car, if I put stuff in my center armrest, I need to manually lock it. Surprisingly, the center armrest locks automatically when the vehicle is locked. So if we close this door and lock the car, you can put your valuables inside the center armrest and it will also be locked with the remote of the vehicle. So that's something a lot of people don't know about. Now for me, some of the best settings were disabled by default when I got the Corvette. So if yours is also like this, there's some settings I highly recommend owners to at least be aware of or turn on. In the settings tab on your Corvette, go into vehicles and then scroll down to where you find remote lock and unlock to start. In here, receive feedback from your car from the lights or the horn, or lights only, or off in general if you don't want it. You have that freedom to do that. I prefer lights and horn. But where it says remote door unlock and you keep scrolling down, yeah, you could enable your ventilated seats to also go off automatically if it's hot outside. Where it says passive door lock, turn on this mode. This way, when you walk away from the car, it automatically locked itself. And it's your personal preference if you wanted to also honk the horn and let you hear that it locked. Another thing I like doing is in the comfort and convenience, in here, enabled remote mirror folding. This way, whenever you lock the car, your mirrors actually fold in instead of them accidentally sticking out, because this one's longer than the driver's side. So you have a peace of mind that nobody's gonna smack into your mirror in case they don't know how to park. And of course, buckle reminders, all personal preference. That's just those two things I wanted to talk about. In right height, you can enable GPS, remember to auto lift. This way, when you leave, the car automatically raises. And then lastly, if you need to override the front to open, if you look all the way down there on top, there's a little silver ring you could pull that will manually unlatch your frunk. But other than that, everything's pretty much self-explanatory. Your lane keep assist and hazards are located here. You may have a digital mirror, which you could toggle by just doing that. And you could adjust the brightness of the display or the height or the zoom in function from here as well. If you want it higher or lower, you could totally do that. Your memory for your remote home link is right here. The RPMs adjust in real time depending on the temperature of your engine. As you can see, it's like in the middle. All of this is personalizable, including this display, because you have display designs. You could choose track or sport. And then there is also a tour. Just looks less aggressive than sport. Or you can link it to the different drive modes that your car has. Or weather, which is like very zen-y like, and all your important information is right there. I personally prefer track. I like the hockey stick up top, and I also like the freedom to have 4 different information screens right here if I want. So I could deselect all of them. I could have either my battery voltage, that, the follow distance, fuel economy, G-force, oil pressure, time, tire stats, fluid. It's a quick rundown. And then of course you have your heads-up display right here. But the cool thing is, if at night, if you dim down your instrument cluster, you have night mode, which only will indicate your miles per hour speedometer, as well as your fuel level and temperature of the engine, and that's it. I don't know, I like driving like this a lot better than having my screens illuminating my face. And for those that are new to this infotainment screen, everything is fully customizable, including these little icons. You can rearrange them to your liking, but even these side ones you could remove or add, like something like the camera up here as a dedicated spot for your needs. Now this vehicle does have PDR, which is basically the capability to record your track laps, where you can just start recording, it'll immediately begin recording. Now there's multiple different settings to this, but you can find the SD card slot right underneath the glove box right here, as this is where you'll slide it in to have access to this menu. And it's basically like your built-in DVR, as you do need to end recording to review past videos. So once it saves, we have the whole capability to view it all right here. And this is the layout on how it looks like. It's really clean, it's awesome, and I wish this is something that more manufacturers would integrate. And in addition to that, if you actually go into the settings, you can set it so it automatically starts recording all the time. So depending on your preference, you can easily set this as your forward facing dash cam. You can also change the resolution right here. You have all the basic like necessity settings to adjust. And if we go back to PDR, you could change the layout too. So you could preview the layout, so track sport will look like this, or you could do none to save yourself from any insurance issues you may have in case something happens. Feel free to look at all these previews. And if you're unsure if the vehicle was recording, if you go to the home page, if you see this red dot, it's recording. And here's a cool tip about the C8 Corvette. These two paddles, if you actually press both of them at the same time, this will quickly put the vehicle in neutral, allowing you to rev as soon as you drive through a tunnel, or if you don't like the vehicle creaking forward. So to demonstrate, here it is. And as soon as you release, it's back in gear. In addition to that, whenever you're driving in manual mode from automatic, if you like to switch back without having to press manual or drive on the gear selector, no, just hold down on the plus button and it will quickly switch back to drive automatic. This is a feature that's been found in Camaros. Other GM vehicles have this, where you just hold down the plus button and it will quickly go back to automatic. In addition to that, if you long hold the negative button, it will quickly allow you to jump between gears. So if you long hold on the negative, it will jump between, sometimes down to 2-second gear, if appropriately, if you need to really pass somebody. But again, this vehicle, the 2024s apparently are more modern, to the point where as soon as you let go of the gear, it'll quickly identify that you want to go back to automatic. And that is all the cool things about the C8 Corvette in terms of its amazing features. And I gotta say, GM did an excellent job in giving the most thought out features I wasn't expecting to find in this vehicle. I thought I was just gonna have one or two, but there was actually a lot of impressive ones that I wish other manufacturers could also integrate. My most favorite one, again, when you have the roof out, you have to park at a gas station real quick. You could keep your belongings in the center armrest, and it's great peace of mind knowing that that automatically locks with the vehicle. So it makes it difficult for somebody to reach in and like steal your possessions. I thought that was really cool. Let me know which one was your personal favorite. The neutral one to quickly rev is pretty cool too. I haven't yet seen another car that's actually well focused on the driver than this thing. This one definitely is above there. Anywho, I'm glad you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. That's a great way to train the YouTube algorithm to recommend videos that you personally like. So if you like these car videos, make sure you hit that like button so you can train the algorithm on your end. And it also helps out the channel too. And if you enjoy a lot of these car videos, make sure to subscribe, because every Wednesday I do upload a new car video going throughout the ins and out when it comes to its unique features, and I'll share with you my personal tips and tricks if I find anything on these vehicles. So make sure you're subscribed if you enjoy these type of car videos. If you missed my previous one, check it out right over there, where I actually go into the BRZ and check out its unique features, one of which was the impressive quick way to switch to track mode by manually flipping your seats. Click on that video if you want to know what's that all about. Anywho, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.